Good.
All right, it's now 5:30. We will call this July 17th, 2024 meeting, a special call meeting of the Compensation Board of Adjustments to order. Our first item on the agenda is to recess the special call meeting into a public hearing to receive public comment on an application for a conditional use filed by Holly Nursery and Garden Center. So,
Raise your right hand. State your name. Swear to tell the truth.
give us an idea what you mind.
Well, we're applying to buy Holly, or we agreed to buy Holly Nursery. And we wanted to run it as a nursery and a mowing business. We're gonna totally paint, redo everything in the front. We wanna move to the back. I don't know if y'all been back there, but it's grown up bad. That's the first thing. We're gonna clear all the back to the fence and do all that. We'd like to move all the stuff that they have setting out front. Pick places in the back, wherever you can pull around back and just make it better looking for everything. And this other thing, there is an old fence on the property line right there that's there. There's the wooden one. We're gonna do away with that and put a black plastic, something that looks good and nice in the front. And there is a fence all the way around the property line, a chain link fence.
We're also going to tear down the building.
Yes,
Replace it.
the main building, yes.
If you look on the exhibit B, as you've noticed, the building that's coming down, and then this is, an elevation shot of what's going in its place. Are you gonna have, I do have a question, that's like, are you gonna have a bay door in the back to take deliveries?
Into that building there,
Yeah. So you'll have to have,
it'll be on the one on the side, I think, the back. Turn, John, I think it's a lean-to, we're gonna have a lean-to all the way off the back, just like the front.
so this is the front.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. And the way it's turned, that door will be where them greenhouses is now, that is, look, is diagonal.
Mhm.
And I haven't got over there to look at it good enough, but we want to, this thing's not too bad, we want to turn them sideways, long ways, give you way more than nothing. Cause they're long, they're parallel with the road.
Okay.
We want to turn them this way.
Mhm.
And it give you way more room to the building.
So the only thing I'm looking at is, according to ordinance, they're supposed to have deliveries in the back.
Okay. Well, we can change that.
That's the only thing I was gonna make sure.
Yes, it's not a big deal. That door can be put in the back instead of the side.
Are you gonna put any new signage in front?
We would like to, we're gonna put new signage, but if you, then the old posts that's there, we want to use them if it's okay. Put a new sign or have it revamped, repainted, whatever we gotta do. We're gonna talk to a guy that is, giving us a price on that.
We need to take, now, one thing you may have to look at that one, not that it can't be done, but if it's too close to the property line, we'll have to look at the areas.
I usually think one of them poles are, right on the. It's not, like the fence is here and that other pole is right there at.
On the front
Yes,
line.
sir.
So we would probably have to go with a variance because it's the proximity. But when he makes his decision on that, we can bring that back in, or that would have to be an application for it by itself. Anything you put on the building would be,
Yes,
anything that you're gonna do on the building is okay. It's the sign, the freestanding sign that would be the issue.
can we just reface the sign?
Pre-existing.
Pre-existing, yeah, but not move it, I don't mean to move it, just put it.
Yeah. Is the board there now?
Yes, yes, sir, and then there's nothing wrong with the board, it's just faded, and looks bad. That's exactly.
Yeah, as
what-
long as you just.
No, that's what. Just
If
reface
you're-
what's there.
If you're gonna reface it, take it down, reface it, then you'd have to get into compliance.
Yeah.
But as long as you're just using exactly what's there.
Exactly what's there. And there isn't, of course, y'all know there's another sign there, that old 7-Up sign, and we wouldn't gonna move that either. If you've ever paid attention, there's a lot of sun right
As
there.
long, it's, at this point, it's
Kind of
there,
installed,
it's
so looks
okay to be
good,
there,
yeah.
as long as you don't make changes or start making changes or stuff like that to it. it's okay. And you're gonna do, you said storage of your materials in the back,
Yes.
okay?
Is that loading dock you guys were just discussing, is that on one of these drawings?
It is not.
It is not. That's on the pre-existing, what they call the farm store building. The one closest to like that open field on the, on the vet side of the property. There's a loading dock all the way around that building, for two sides. Down the front and down that back side.
Yeah, that's closest to the Harrington farm.
Yes.
That comes in on that side.
So that's on this building on the far right.
Yes, sir.
So
Wasn't gonna do nothing with that, but paint it. We're gonna paint all the block, the roof, just, try to make it look more presentable.
but you're gonna put is that gonna be a storage place? You're gonna have a loading dock of sorts?
Yes, that's what they use it for now. Yes.
So we'll just,
Yeah, that building, they store their, cotton, soil and,
Stuff
all
that
kinds of
isn't
stuff. It's all their straws in there and stuff like that.
so
That's it.
yeah, we can just put that as a condition on a condition. Loading dock.
And that's gonna be behind the smaller building or the main building here.
It's kind of in. It's
In between.
the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's,
You know exactly what it means.
it's got two garage doors on the building.
Again, on that building.
Yes,
On the
sir.
far right.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Yep.
Like, I only have one quick one. Like on the fence, we're talking about in the front. Now, is that something I can just do when we get it? Or do I have to come back through here and,
What kind of fence you looking at?
them black plastic, real fence?
Okay, just like a,
Yeah, there's a fence
like
there.
down here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a perimeter fence.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the only thing you might think is aesthetic, and I can handle that right now.
Yeah.
If that's what you're gonna put something like that, yeah. I mean,
And that fence that they got there doesn't go all the way to end to end.
Yeah.
And this one will go from end to end.
But actually go with everything else that's going in down there as far as black fencing. The horse fence.
Is that reflected somewhere on this? Is that an addition or is that somewhere on this?
It's not.
We don't, we normally don't do anything with fencing.
Perimeter fencing is not ready. It's
I know.
not structured.
This will be just right on the property.
It's
It
not-
look good.
You're just taking the old up, putting it
Yes,
over
sir.
in.
And we have to. I can, do I get approval from here to clean the back up, or how does that?
No,
work?
just like
I
that.
just-
Yeah, demolition is not something you have to permit.
Okay.
It's building.
You can call it, you can do it.
Well, it would be dangerous.
Questions or anything else I need to say? You good then?
Just so you guys now understand, there will be outside storage of materials, and that's part of this deal is with that. In a nursery, of course, a lot of this material can't be stored inside, so you understand that. And but he is storing it, not in the front, but in the back.
Is that a square foot, John? I don't have it in front of me. Is that a separate conditional use? Or is that part of it? Is that only?
This is a nursery, this is outside, it's retail outside, well, it's nursery, actually. It just says nursery. But because it's in a B2, we need to make note that there will be storage outside.
In the text of the, you have the ordinance in front of you. I'm wondering if in B2, look at B2, just in B2, and see if there is a requirement for conditional use for outside storage. I'm kind of thinking maybe there is.
Will not be part of this one? Okay. I know,
I'm
yeah,
just wondering if I
there,
need
for
to-
B2, for outside storage, it is a conditional use. But it being a nursery and everything in B2, I figured that would cover it. You are correct.
Excuse me, hang on just a
I thought storage in B two is by conditional use, but that's the nature of
There
this.
it is, there shall be not an outdoor storage of merchandise or materials or processing unless authorized as conditional. So that's not a part of the application here, but we need to amend the application accordingly to make that request. Is that right?
We can,
Then I can just include it.
you just put it in the stipulations.
Do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, I guess not.
Are there any, did you say you're gonna move all the storage to the rear of the building, all the outside storage? to the
They've
rear
got
of the building?
all their stuff out front, and I would like, yes, I'm gonna move it all to the back where you can fix it, where you can just drive around the back, and it won't be out front where everybody can just see it, you know,
Okay, so outside storage will all be in the rear of the building.
try to be, yes, sir.
Good enough.
Yeah, very few, but most of our bulk storage will be around back, and there will be some pots and stuff out front, but it,
Well, if it's landscaping or if it's vegetation.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a little different,
Right.
as opposed to
If it's
stone and
merchandise,
yes.
bulk material.
but you will have, you're thinking that you will have some merchandise in front of the building?
I don't want to say no.
Some of them, tanking is definitely gonna be out front,
I'm not gonna say
but bulk materials will be in the back,
yes.
correct?
Yes.
So why don't we put something in it to, for the site?
Limited usability, if he does, yeah,
It's just
outside
what-
if he was to need it.
Is it storage of, stuff that's in front, will it be for display or will it be storage? Display, got it. If it's for display, then
You run a nursery, you gotta advertise yourself, and that's the displays that you put out means a lot. Saying that for you, I'm assuming that. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm a telepathic, I just, I don't know they're not. Hey, I resemble that.
okay, so the only two, additional conditions that we talked about are loading dock on the back of the building, access points in the rear of the building, and then the display in front.
Yes.
Very good. We'll repeat that here in a minute. when we have to-
You said
Limited display.
You want to define it, or do you want to just leave it?
No,
We can do it either way.
I just.
I think where he's going is gonna put him in a box where if he did have 4 pallets or something, that's temporary. I'll make it hard.
Yeah. Just so that you understand, in a B two, which is what that is, we don't allow outside storage unless it's conditional use permit, unless you have a conditional use permit for it.
That's what.
Which is what you're doing. And so, what, honestly, that place has needed, it got grandfathered in. Everything that's there got grandfathered in. But this, when it changes hands, you get to, that's what what the city's been praying for a while. Because it needs to be made consistent with a B2 zone, which is, store pallets of stuff out front. If you want to do some display, if you want to have some stuff out front for display, that's a thing that can be the product, the subject of a conditional use permit. But the idea of a B2 is to do storage.
Right.
Yeah, not because it's general business. It's not heavy. It's not industrial, it's general business. So
Greg,
That's what we're
consistent
talking
with what you're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about.
pull that microphone over closer to you, please.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I just want to be sure what I'm writing is what you're talking about.
Yes.
You're cleaning up the front side of this thing. It's not a warehouse in front of the building. It's just a place where you put some shelves and what it's stuff that people can see. Pretty stuff, so you're trying to sell,
We'll go through the backup.
Yeah.
The whole, in the whole.
That's all consistent with the prayers of the city. That's working well. Good. Okay.
Anyone else? But, and I see no public to address the crowd, so we will consider this meeting adjourned, the public hearing adjourned, and we continue into our special call meeting, and first item on that agenda is approval of the minutes from May 28th, 2024. Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Right, so. Consideration of Holly Nursery.
All right,
You have everything you need, we're ready to do.
I've got everything I need.
For the record, this is Holly Nursery and Garden Center in Corpus. And this is a new entity. This is not an existing entity.
Comment, sorry to be personal, is there a comment after sentence before each?
It means it's
Holly Nursery.
longer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little. Holly Nursery, Jefferson, Garden Center, comment. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, actually. Here it is.
We got it.
Here it is.
We got it.
No comments.
My only question is, does anybody remember who Holly?
Yeah, it's. Oh. Yeah, no. Got it. Okay. All right. You find adequate evidence showing that such use at the proposed location is in fact a conditional use as established under the provisions of Article 7 and appears on the official schedule of uses and Article 11 for the zoning district involved. John, help us there. Is it, because it's a retail or is nursery a separate, item?
It is nursery.
Nursery is on the schedule.
Nurseries, plant material retail.
Gotcha. Right, okay. So that's John's recommendation.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Kern is absent. Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yeah. Do you find that the proposed use will be harmonious with and in accordance with the general objectives or within specific objective of the city's comprehensive plan and or zoning ordinance?
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will be designed, constructed, operated, and maintained so as to be harmonious and appropriate in appearance with the existing or intended character of the general vicinity, and that such use will not change the essential character of the same area?
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills.
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will not be hazardous or disturbing to existing or future neighboring uses?
Mr. Gregory,
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer.
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use may be served adequately by essential public facilities and services such as highways, streets, police and fire protection, drainage structures, refuge, disposal, water and sewer and schools, or that the persons or agencies responsible for the establishment of these, of the proposed use will be able to provide adequately these such services?
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yeah. You find that the proposed use will not create excessive additional requirements of public costs for public facilities and services and will not be detrimental to the economic welfare of the community?
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
You find that the proposed use will not involve uses, activities, processes, materials, equipment, conditions, or operation that will be detrimental to any person's property or the general welfare or reason of excessive production of traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, or odors.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
You find that the proposed use will have vehicular approaches to the property which shall be so designed as not to create an interference with traffic on surrounding public thoroughfares.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
You find that the proposed use will not result in the destruction, loss, or damage of a natural, scenic, or historic feature of major importance.
Mr. Lyles,
Yes.
Mr. Sills,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
All answers in the affirmative.
Having made those findings, we can entertain a motion to grant or deny the application, and I will recite that from the public hearing, I have notes from the Board of Adjustment, that, one considered, condition for a conditional use permit would be that, all loading docks would be located on the back side of buildings, and that any outside storage would be conducted in the rear of the buildings with limited display in front of limited display for resale in front of the building. So if you make a motion to grant the conditional use permit, you may or may not include in your motion, attach those conditions as a condition of the conditional use.
I'll make a motion that we grant that. But I also don't want to also put them in a box where if they did have 4 extra towers, it was out front to the side.
I think his statement covered that.
Well, I want to make sure where he had originally said when we, on that public hearing about keeping as much in the back as we can.
Yeah.
I can tell you the enforcement guy will take that into consideration. Want to get them paid.
It's not, let me ask you, is it really?
Yes, sir.
It is outside storage in the rear of the building and limited display of items for resale in the front of the building.
Yes.
Is that satisfactory? I
We've
second.
got almost 7 acres and a lot of
Yeah,
it's in the
but
back.
I was looking for him, she wasn't good, make a comment on it, I was in the retail business. Oh, box here, if he did.
Yeah, and the reality of the situation is, if you were to suck up, if you were on your way to the rear of the building and you left a couple pallets sitting out in the driveway for a couple of days, Bruce is good, but he's not that good.
Yeah.
Fine, good.
He's scary, but he's not that scary.
People who take me forward.
We got to Bruce up Calvert.
I believe we've got a motion and Jim's got to say.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor of approving as presented, say aye. Anyone opposed?
Jordan,
I need something.
That brings us to the end of our meeting. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
That's it.
We're glad to see you.
What time you got?